Thank you, Avi, and happy Lag BaOmer, Lag BaOmer Sameach to everybody, wherever you guys are. And it's a really special day. It's a special day because of the significance of today being kind of the end of a lot of sadness, and we celebrate a lot of different things. But I want to talk about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and he is one of our great rabbis in our history, and he's famous for writing the Zohar. And the Zohar is a very, very special sefer. It's the secrets, the mysticism, the Kabbalah of all of our Torah. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai hid in the cave as he ran from the Romans for 13 years. Some of us have been in quarantine for like 3 months, maybe 2 or 3 months. Rabbi Shimon and his son, Rabbi Eliezer, hid in a cave for 13 years. No internet, no Amazon, nothing. They were 13 years learning only with Eliyahu Hanavi. So I want to show you guys some pictures of Meron. Meron is where Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is buried. It's also where they say the cave that him and his son hid in is also somewhere in that area. And it's also the place there, usually, this year is a little different because of everything that's happening with, unfortunately, Corona, but usually tens of thousands of people make their way to Meron every year for Lag BaOmer, where they celebrate Rabbi Shimon, they celebrate this kind of middle point in the Sphira, and everything else that we celebrate. So I'm going to share with you guys some really cool things. And you can see my screen, correct? Can you see it, Avi? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So let me show you. This is my some of my pictures and my experiences while being in Meron. So if you've ever been there, you know that at the entrance to the kever, to the grave of where Rabbi Shimon and his son are buried, is this beautiful entryway with those colors blue, which is very popular in the north of Israel, especially in Tzfat, in Meron. It's a very mystical color. It's a very special and secretive color, and they use it a lot. So if you look at these two psukim here, one of them is a pasuk, you'll see that there are letters that are in blue. And the pasuk around the archway says, Ki lo tishkach mipi zaro, that it should not be forgotten from his offspring. And if you look at the letters that are in blue, and you reorganize those letters, they spell, anybody? What do they spell? Yochai. They spell Rabbi Shimon's last name, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. So in the entrance, it tells us that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he is alluded to in this pasuk because of his continuation of Torah and his helping Rabbi Akiva in being one of the only few students that remained after all the students that had died during this period of Sphira. He continued to be able to spread the Torah. So here's how it looks. It was a little bit further back. Many years ago, it was just in the middle of nowhere. I'll show you guys a picture of how it used to look. I did not take the old pictures. I was not around back then. These were my pictures from more recently. Here's how it looks inside. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can find hundreds of people visiting, davening. And this is what the inside of the kever of the grave looks like. And what they're doing is they're davening, they're lighting candles. And if you notice that it's domed, the inside of the room is domed. A lot of the buildings in the north of Israel are built as domed. And there's a reason for that. Some people say it looks like a yarmulke from the outside, like curved. That's actually not the reason why. The reason why is because there was earthquakes in the past. There have been also some earthquakes recently. And those are designed to, if there is an earthquake, to prevent it from just falling down. It's a more secure build to prevent from earthquakes. Here's one area that I took a picture of, which is hundreds and all over the place. People donate oil to be lit. And those candles, they do in memory of different people. So you can see there's little labels on it, and people send in donations from around the world to have their candle lit by the grave of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Now, I took a picture of this because I'm a big coffee drinker. I love coffee. And I was there recently. I was not there on Lag BaOmer most recently. I was just there on a random march. And I took a picture of a coffee station. And this coffee station is constantly replenished. So that if you get there, whenever you get there, any day of the week, anytime, there is Café Shachor, otherwise known as Turkish coffee. And next to it is sugar. and it looks very industrial, but it works. And the coffee is great. Fill it up, make yourself a coffee, and then you go to the milk station. And this is a big, huge steel contraption that has these levers on the bottom, and you can push them down and choose what type of milk you want. And if you look on top, you'll see here that people donate this milk and the coffee as their own blessings and their own need for refuah or anything that they're adopting to Hashem for. Here's me and my friend right outside that entranceway. So I want to show you what it used to look like. Again, I was not around back in this time, but this is how it used to look. Meron is on top of a mountain, and people would trek there. This is on Lag BaOmer, this picture. People would trek there from around Israel, from all over the Middle East, and they would ascend up the mountain. You can see on top of the mountain here, that's where the kever is. Today it's much more built up, but people would do this journey even hundreds of years ago. And here's how it looked inside. I showed you the pictures before, but this is how it would look back in those days. And here again, how it looks today. So you can see it looks very similar inside that grave to the way it did in the past. And this is how it used to look. All around was just mountains, just big, very difficult to travel and traverse. But this is how the building looked. And it still looks very similar today with those archways. As you can see, the same archways that lead now, they look a little more built up. They have roads, and that's how it would look. This is me camping out 2000. This is 20 years ago, camping outside. Thousands of people, tens of thousands of people make their homes for these couple of days of Lag BaOmer. They set up their tents outside, and it's really beautiful. You meet people from all over the world, and you basically stay up the whole night. It's just too hard to go to sleep with music and bonfires and singing. So you have a tent, but you really don't use it much. And you try, if you can, to get into the kever, like into this area to Rabbi Shimon. To get there is very difficult. You have to stand on line for hours, and there's really throngs, thousands of people. And at one point, when I was online to get into Lag BaOmer, I felt my feet were not on the ground anymore. Because the people, there were so many people, I felt like I was being lifted up off the ground, and I was just moving with the people and the masses towards the grave. So when I finally got inside, I turned around with my camera, and this is before cell phones, so this was like maybe the first selfie ever. But it wasn't really a selfie of me, but it was to the back of where everyone was. I took a picture of everyone. And if you look at the clock in the corner, you'll see what time it was. This was not in the afternoon. This was at night. This was 2:35 a.m. in the middle of the night. I waited online for hours with thousands and thousands of people to get into the grave and be able to take a picture and daven for just a moment. And before I had a chance to do much more, I was quickly pushed out the other way. So here's an aerial view where you could see the thousands and thousands of people. And this is only outside. So inside is even more. So you might think it's really squishy and very loud and very difficult, but there's a beautiful sense of togetherness. There's free food for anybody that comes. There's music. Everybody's nice to each other. Everybody says hello. And it's a beautiful opportunity to meet Jews from around the world, to pray, to ask Hashem to bring us all these wonderful things in the merit of Rabbi Shimon. Here they set up bleachers so that everybody can see the music and the dancing. And this is what it's like. So here, take a look at a picture. This is a view from across the valley towards Meron. If you can see where my mouse is, this is where Meron is. Now take a look, this is a very big mountain. So where did Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai hide? We don't know. There are people that say they have figured out which cave is his, but we don't know. But we know that probably somewhere here, because this is where Meron is, where he's buried, it would make sense that if he was buried here, this place had significance to him, and he was probably hiding somewhere here. So I hope that all of us will have the opportunity to get back to Israel very soon, and we could take a Yachad trip and maybe even explore the mountain and try to find where Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's cave was that he hid in for 13 years, and we can visit Meron. We know we have one hint to how the cave of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai looked. We know there's one hint. The Gemara tells us that a miraculous carob tree grew right outside of his cave. So together, we'll go to Israel when Mashiach comes very soon. We'll look around and we'll try to find a cave with a carob tree outside, and maybe that's his cave. So thank you everybody for listening. Once again, I thank you guys, and I wish everybody a Lag BaOmer Sameach. Avi, you're muted. You're muted, Avi.
Okay, hi everybody. Hope you can hear me now. It's Avi Feder. I am back. And can I get a thumbs up that somebody can hear me? All right, so I want to just pick up where Rabbi Rosenthal left off and share with you guys some cool idea about Lag BaOmer. Now, there's a lot of ideas about Lag BaOmer. People talk about the ideas of Meron, like Rabbi Rosenthal spoke about. People talk about bonfires. But one of the coolest ideas that I heard is about the bow and arrow. Anybody raise their hand if they've heard of the bow and arrow? They've heard of a bow and arrow being associated with Meron? Right, I see David O there. I see a bunch of us raising our hands that we've heard of the bow and arrow. One of the things about the bow and arrow that make it so special is the following, and I'm going to show you guys by demonstrating. Now, I bought a very safe version of a bow and arrow. This bow and arrow will not hurt anybody, except for maybe the wall of my next door neighbor, and I'll apologize to them afterwards. But everybody see this bow and arrow over here? You see it's got a very nice tip. If I hit my computer right there, it won't hurt. You guys still see me? But look at this bow and arrow. Look how it works. Now, what am I supposed to do to shoot it? What do? I'm going to stand up over here and you all can see me. Watch how I'm going to pull it back. Pull it back, pull it back, pull it back, like this. Y'all heard that noise? That was the bow and arrow shooting, right? Why does that bow and arrow work that way? I'm going to do it again and let's all watch. This is what I want. I want to send this arrow out there. But if this were regular, I would hold it here, it would just fall. I don't want it to fall, I want it to go far away. And what we learn on Lag BaOmer is the secret of the bow and arrow. The secret of the bow and arrow is instead of us sending things out by just pushing forward, this would be like throwing. Why is the bow and arrow able to fly so much farther? Because before I send it out, what do? I take the arrow and I pull it really close to me. And where? Right next to my heart. And I pull it really close next to my heart, and that's the secret of Lag BaOmer. That's how we get the secrets of Torah. The secrets of Torah are revealed to us on Lag BaOmer. That's what Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai taught. He taught us all that if you want Torah to spread, you have to dig deep into your heart. Dig this arrow deep, deep, deep into your heart. Find what's really important to you. What's that thing that's deep inside of you? And then send that out. And then watch as that flies. So I'm going to let this secret of Lag BaOmer fly. I'm going to ask, as I let this arrow go, everybody find something secret and deep inside of them. What's something that you really love, that you really value? Maybe it's love for another Jew. And let's hold that right now. And let me talk about that love for another Jew, love for all Jews. You see, because like Rabbi Rosenthal spoke about, the first Lag BaOmer was because thousands and thousands of people who were big rabbis, they all died over a short period of time. Not unlike times that we've heard of in other times in history, where good Jews have unfortunate things happen to them. And in Lag BaOmer, that begins to stop. On Lag BaOmer, the end of the plague and the beginning of the healing, the beginning of the refuah comes because we stop lo nagu kavod zeh b'zeh. We stop disrespecting each other and we start really showing that love for other Jews and digging deep into our heart and sending that forward. So I'm going to send one more arrow forward and then I'm going to pass it on to some of my other friends from Yachad to share with us. Well, let's dig deep in our hearts one more time. Let's come up with that commitment to be nice to fellow Jews, to try as much as possible to be respectful, be friendly, be a good person, dig that really, really deep, watch it fly forward, and Mirza Hashem, with God's help, that will come. Now, before I pass it off, I want to just give a very big thank you to some of my friends of mine from New Jersey Yachad, Atara Herman and Tamar Berman. The two of them are incredibly talented high schoolers working with Rocky Sullivan and the whole New Jersey team. They put together a really fun game for us. And in just 1 second, I'm going to give you guys the thumbs up. You guys are ready? Tamara, Atara? And they're going to take it away and lead us in a game of Kahoot. So I'll see you guys on the other end of the game. Tamara, Atara, take it away.
Hi, guys. Okay. So I don't know if you guys have heard of Kahoot, but I'm going to screen share right now. Okay. We're gonna play a Kahoot. You have to get either a second device or you have to get another tab open and you look up kahoot.it and you type in this code right here. And then when everyone's ready, we'll play this game. It's a trivia game about Lag BaOmer. See, we have one person.
Awesome. So once you guys get on, you guys will put in the pin. I'm just going to go over it. And then it'll say to write a name. And then over there, you'll write your name or a nickname that you want to be called as. And as soon as you guys are all in, we'll start. Ooh, we have someone that's called I Love Yachad. That's a cool name.
I can also explain how we play. When we start playing, there's going to be a question that comes up, and it's going to be a multiple choice answer, and in different colors will be the answer. So let's say you think the answer is in the red box. On your other screen, you will click the red box to go with the red answer. We're going to start in about a minute or two.
You guys are coming up with some cool names. I see hashtag inclusion. That's pretty cool.
Got 1 minute till we start. Okay, I think we're gonna start, and if anyone wants to log in later, there will be a code on the screen still. Okay, we're gonna start. Tamar, read the first question.
Okay, when is Lag BaOmer this year? Five more seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Wow,
And the answer is Yachad ER. Nice. You got 14 that answered correctly. Good job.
Alex.
Alex is in the lead.
Fill in the blank. We count Sfira HaOmer because blanks students died from a plague. Whose students died? Let's see who knows this. Nice, Rabbi Akiva. Nice. What is Lamed and Gimel in numbers? Ooh, good job. Okay, next one. What, Shoshana's in the lead. Whoa. Okay.
What
has many answers.
on Lag BaOmer?
What can people do on Lag BaOmer? All of them were right.
Good job, guys. All the answers are correct.
Oh, Batya.
Batya is stealing the lead.
Where in Israel do people visit on Lag BaOmer? And there's a hint in the picture. We learned about this before, a few minutes ago. Nice. Seems like most of you are paying attention. Amazing. Batya's still in the lead. Whoa.
What is one explanation for why we celebrate on Lag BaOmer?
Yeah, why do we celebrate? Nice. Good job. The end of a bad plague. Bias.
Oh, Batya, you're really doing a good job here. The Omer is counted off between what two holidays?
Good job. Nice. People knew that one. Oh, Shoshana's catching up and hashtag inclusion. Why do we celebrate Lag BaOmer with bonfires? This is a hard question. Let's see who knows this one. Nice. That was a more challenging one. And Baya is still in the lead. Ahuba has a streak. Whoa.
Speaking of bonfires, what are some yummy foods you can cook in a bonfire?
They were all right. Good job, guys. Oh, Shoshana S is moving up. Nice. True or false? The students of Rabbi Akiva died because they did not keep Shabbos. Is this true or false? Nice, good job. This is a little bit of a hard one. And Baya still in the lead, but everyone's doing a good job.
How many days are between Lag BaOmer and Shavuot?
This is some math. $17. Seems like people were divided.
That's a bit of a hard one.
Yeah, that was a hard one. Oh, Elliot is climbing. Last question. How excited are you for Lag BaOmer? I personally like the orange one. Yeah, all of them were right. Amazing. Let's see our winners. In third place, we have Essie. Second place, we've got Elon. And in first place, drumroll please, Faya. We all did amazing.
Good job, guys.
Good job, guys.
Okay, good job, Atara and Tamara. Thank you guys so much. Can I get a thumbs up from everybody? How was that game? Awesome. So let's follow up the fun of that game with the following. I want to introduce, excuse me, I want to introduce somebody who many of us in Yachad have gotten to know. You see, a lot of things about Lag BaOmer is letting secrets out of the box. The whole idea of Lag BaOmer was that there was so much Torah, which was a secret, and we let it out. It's a little spark that you light to a fire, and like a bonfire, the whole bonfire takes off, and everyone finds out. In Lag BaOmer, there were these hidden parts of the Torah that everybody found out about, and through these Zooms during this quarantine time, the whole world is learning about Yachad. People are learning about Yachad in countries and continents that there is no Yachad. And one of the best kept secrets of Yachad right now is a friend of all of ours. If he's not a friend of yours yet, he will be now. And his name is, drumroll please, Mr. Shabbos. Mr. Shabbos, are you there?
Hello, you with me? Hello, Yachad. Can you hear me? If you hear me, give a thumbs up. All right, thank you, guys. Oh, Bario, I need not my better. Bario, I need not my better. We say all things about the whole year. Tonight, we say it even more. We dig into our hearts and we say, Amar Rabbi Akiva Zeklal Gadol B'Torah. Amar Rabbi Akiva Zeklal Gadol B'Torah. V'ahavta l'reacha l'reacha kamocha. V'ahavta l'reacha l'reacha kamocha. Amar Rabbi Akiva Zeklal Gadol B'Torah. Oh, hey, Rabbi Akiva Zeklal Gadol B'Torah. V'ahavta l'reacha l'reacha kamocha. V'ahavta l'reacha l'reacha kamocha. Let me see you dance, guys. Yeah, Yachad. La 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 Let's all get together. Let's sing a little. Let's sing a little. Me'ayin yavo Ezri Esaenai Harim Me'ayin yavo Ezri Me'im Oh, say, Shemayim Boret, Ezri, Me'im Hashem. Oh, say, Shemayim Boret, Esa Einai, Harim. Me'ayin Yahweh Ezri Esa Einai Harim Me'ayin Yahweh Ezri Ezri Me'im Hashem Oh, say Shemayim Boret Ezri Me'im Hashem Oh, say Shemayim Boret Lai la lai lai Bam 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 bye lai Bam bam bye lai Bam bam ba da 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 Dam ba dam bam ba La na 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 La na 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 La ba 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 La na 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 La na 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 La na 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 La na na La 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 Oh, here's another one. Galam kiele, yetzamave, lo ilala, lo ilala, ki ata imadi. Galam kiele, yetzamave. one that everybody knows. We're gonna do it together. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael Chai. I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael Chai. Hey, I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael Chai. Hey, I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael Chai. Oh, Rabbeinu Chai, oh, Rabbeinu Chai. Oh, Rabbeinu, oh, Rabbeinu, oh, Rabbeinu Chai. Oh, Rabbeinu Chai. Oh, Rabbeinu Chai. Oh, Rabbeinu, oh, Rabbeinu, oh, Rabbeinu Chai. Hey, I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael Chai. Hey, I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael Chai. Hey, I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael Chai. Hey, I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael, Yisrael Chai. Oh, Rabbeinu Chai, oh, Rabbeinu Chai. Oh, Rabbeinu, oh, Rabbeinu, oh, Rabbeinu Chai. Oh, Rabbeinu Chai, oh, Rabbeinu Chai. Oh, Rabbeinu, oh, Rabbeinu, oh, Rabbeinu Chai. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shekitzanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu Tfilat Omer
Amen.
Yom Shlosha Shleim Omer.
Thank you, Mr. Shabbos. I think we have time for one more song, everybody. We have one more song, Mr. Shabbos. What should the last song be? What do we think? Mr. Shabbos, you want to surprise us with one final song for the evening, the last song for Lag BaOmer night before we call it an evening.
1, 2, 3. L'shana haba, l'shana haba, l'shana haba, b'Yerushalayim. Shana haba, l'shana haba, l'shana haba, b'Yerushalayim. L'shana haba, b'Yerushalayim hallelujah. L'shana haba, b'Yerushalayim hallelujah. Oh, l'shana haba, b'Yerushalayim hallelujah. L'shana haba, b'Yerushalayim hallelujah. L'shana haba, l'shana haba, l'shana haba, b'Yerushalayim. L'shana haba, l'shana haba, l'shana haba, b'Yerushalayim. Delight, Thank you, Yachad.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rabbi Shabbos, Mr. Shabbos. Everybody, thank you so much, so much, so much. Lag BaOmer Sameach. Before we close, I want to thank Mr. Shabbos for joining us. Before everyone closes off, let's just give a very big virtual clap. Let's see everybody's hands clapping on screen. A thank you for Mr. Shabbos. Let's keep clapping for Rachel Mendelson for letting everybody in from the waiting room. Thank you, Rachel, for recording this and for being here to help us all. Keep clapping for Rachel Stoller, Rocky Sullivan for running this from behind. Of course, to Tamar Berger and to Atara Herman for their part in getting our Kahoot game off the ground. Finally, to Rabbi Rosenthal for his amazing presentation on Meron. And let's sing off the evening as we all sign off with one final song. Thank you, everybody. Good night, everybody.
Yachad, 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 Yachad. Kulam kedusha lecha, yishaleshu. Oh, kulam kedusha lecha, yishaleshu. Yachad, 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 Yachad. La 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 la, Yachad, 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 Yachad. Yishaleshu Kulam Kedushalechai Yishaleshu Kulam Kedushalechai Yishaleshu
Hey.